Now let's look at the post-written stage, meaning what happens once you've cleared the written test, whether it is CAT, GMAT or any other exam. Then you have the stage which let's call it the interview stage, which sometimes has just interview, but sometimes it has interviews and group discussions, sometimes it has WAT, some written aptitude or ability test, sometimes it has a group task wherein you given some task to fulfill as a group and so on. Anyway, even there, and I think this doesn't have to be justified, but I will still do it. Even there, I don't think there is a better thing to do to prepare for it than reading. So let's look at group discussion. You're given a topic. Now sometimes it is a topic of contemporary affairs, what is going on in the country or in the world, and you're supposed to discuss it. Now if you don't read, you don't know what to talk about it. Sometimes you're given an abstract topic, let's say pink or whatever. Now again, somebody who gets more ideas from here and there is a person who knows more about the world. How do you know more about the world? Well, there are a couple of ways to know more about the world, or three ways rather. You have a person who knows about the world and this person talks to you on a regular basis. The internet, either videos or text. Text is automatically reading, or books and newspapers, magazines, and again the internet. Now the first option, an intelligent, widely informed person, is rarely available to us. Okay, so most of us have only two choices. Both of them somehow or the other include reading. So again, reading has a role to play. Interview, how do you become better at the interview? The first question in most B schools is, tell us about yourself. Now to talk about yourself, one is that you say, well, my name is this, I studied here, you know, or I'm working here and so on. But that's nothing. You will get over that in 20 seconds, and now you're asking that person to ask you whatever, which means you're throwing the ball in their court. Not good. Why don't you direct the interview? How do you direct the interview? By talking more about the things that make you you, by talking more about the things that make you special, if not unique. How do you know more about those things? Suppose you are very interested in, let's say, trains. Train is a hobby, okay? Now you can't be interested in trains just by knowing what kind of a train or the name of the train, the timing. You need to get deeper in it. Again, you can only do that through reading. You pick up any hobby, that's how it is. Any other interest that you have, how do you know more about it? You start reading and all that. Okay, so this is important even in the second stage. Current affairs, general knowledge, all these things can only be improved with the help of reading. So reading is not important just for the verbal section, and it is also important for the post written stage, and it is amazing, you know, what you can do with it. In fact, let me tell you something far bigger than this. Reading is extremely important for life, no matter what. And I'll just briefly summarize this purely because of this. It has always been true, but it was never truer than it is in today's world. As they say, we are living in something called the knowledge economy or whatever. So this is what is important. Again, how do you get it? Again, there are just 2-3 ways. You either have a person who is knowledgeable, whatever. First question to ask is, how did that person become knowledgeable? Reading. You know, the second is you yourself read and so on. I'll give you a very basic elementary example, but an extremely important one. Let's say you're impressed by Einstein, okay, for some reason you think he was a great person along with being a great scientist. Now, for Einstein to become Einstein, the one that we know of, it took a lifetime. He lived his life, okay, and he started becoming Einstein when he must be in his 20s or 30s, and then he grew as a person and so on. So anyway, it was a combination of all the years that Einstein lived. Now let's assume Einstein lived for 70 years, hypothetical. Out of this you can subtract 20 years because, you know, he was very young and so on. So 50 years of becoming Einstein. You pick up a biography, a good biography or biographies of Einstein, Let's say one of them is 300 pages, another one is 400 pages, 700 pages. 700 pages, if you are a beginner, will take you 10 days, maximum 15 days. If you are an advanced reader, it will take you anywhere from 2 to 3 days. From anywhere from 2 to 3 days till maximum 15 days, you will get what took Einstein 50 years, okay? Which does not mean you will become Einstein or you will become that intelligent and so on, but no, you will figure out what made him him. You will understand his thoughts, you will read about his thoughts, you will know what kind of a person he was, what made him click, what he liked, what he disliked and so on. And now you can go on to any other person. So for example, Mahatma Gandhi, same thing. You either read something written by him, for example, My Experiments with Truth, or you read his biography. Okay, let's go to topic. Suppose you want to figure out what is, I mean, I keep hearing capitalism versus socialism versus neoliberalism versus I don't know what. And so you think, what is this all about? Well, go read, you will immediately figure out. You will figure out the intricacies, the minor differences, the major differences and so on. Suppose you want to figure out what's up with quantum physics, you know, quantum physics is supposed to be a big deal and so on. Go ahead and read it. So what I'm trying to say is that there is only one way to gain knowledge, you know, even if the ways that you talk to a knowledgeable person, that person himself or herself read something to figure those things out, okay. So you want to gain this, you want to become good at this, will automatically means you will be good at this, means you have to do this. I don't think I can justify this more now. I think I've given you enough reasons why you should read, not just because of your GMAT or CAT or other competitive exams, but also because of the next stage and finally for this. You want to rise, meaning you'll have to show you better than the rest. How do you show you better than the rest? Well, you either could be better looking than the rest, but then you'll have to choose different careers. You'll have to go into modeling, movies and so on. The rest, most fields, there are some fields wherein you have to show you're stronger than the rest. Suppose you want to become a wrestler or a boxer or, you know, so on. Again, you'll have to choose a different career. The kind of career I'm assuming you are choosing has to do with this. And so in this, to show you better than the rest, this is automatic. It shouldn't even be a thought, you know, like this should be automatic, but people don't read it. It is amazing. I'm talking about the people who want to enter this field, whether it is management or anything to do wherein this thing is important. I don't understand why don't they start doing this, because this is automatic. You want to become an entrepreneur, you want to start your own thing. First of all, you'll have to read about that particular area. Secondly, why don't you read about people who have become successful entrepreneurs, you know, what did they do, what kind of difficulties did they face, did they fail? And once you figure out, oh, most of them failed all the time before becoming what they became, you will be more confident. So then you won't think about, oh, what if I fail? Well, failing is a part of the process. Anyway, this. The most amazing thing you can do to become whatever you want to become in life, okay? So I hope I have convinced you or motivated you enough. I hope you take it seriously now and just go for it. And as I said, right now it is not important what you read. Read those posts of mine. I've given you some suggestions, I've talked more about these things. Just do that and rock the world, okay? All the best. Thanks a lot.